All right, this is the first video in a 5-video series about installing plugins on a self-hosted WordPress installation. So I want to start in this first video by just giving you kind of a real quick overview of what a plugin is. As you all know, if you've started to play with WordPress, WordPress is a very robust blogging and content management system. It allows you to really easily publish content, organize it, theme it, and add some interesting features to your site just with the built-in core code. However, very often there are things you're going to want to do on your site that you can't do with the core code in WordPress. And the way that that's been solved is that a community of developers all over the world have developed what are called plugins for WordPress. And what those are really just short computer scripts that extend the functionality of the core code. So they allow you to do all kinds of different things. There's literally, if you go to the WordPress plugin repository, almost 20,000 plugins that you can browse. They can do all kinds of things, like I said. A lot of plugins are designed to integrate with other web services you might use, like Flickr or Twitter, for example. Some plugins are designed to really kind of extend the core functionality, so they might let you do some interesting things with images, like image galleries, or have custom content on your site, very specific kinds of custom content on your site. And then there are plugins that are really aimed at more technical system administrative type of tasks. For DS106, which is what this video series has been produced for, we have asked our students to install 4 plugins. And I'm going to be doing a separate video about each of those, walking you through the steps of installing them. The first plugin we're going to look at is something called Kizmet, which actually, if you look at my screen right now, you'll see Kizmet is already installed in my WordPress installation. Kizmet is now a default plugin that is installed when you just install WordPress. You just have to activate it and set it up. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. The second plugin is something called Twitter Tools, and Twitter Tools allows you to integrate your blog with your Twitter account so that you can publish a tweet every time you write a blog post, for example, or have a list of your most recent tweets show up in your sidebar. There's lots of things you can do with it. The third plugin is actually, you can choose a plugin, but we want you to install some plugin that integrates with your Flickr account. Maybe to allow you to more easily embed your Flickr photos in a post, or to display a gallery of your photos in your sidebar or elsewhere on your site. And the fourth plugin is actually a really special plugin called Jetpack, which is almost like a plugin of plugins. It's kind of a suite of plugins. It adds a bunch of different things to your site. The feature we're most interested in, or the features we're most interested in, is 1, it lets people subscribe to comments on your site, and 2, it will give you some basic stats about who's visiting your site and when and what they're looking at. So what we're looking at right now here is the plugin page in WordPress. There are 2 ways to install plugins in WordPress. You'll see there's a big Add New button at the top of the page, and if I click it, just like when we were working with themes, I can either search for a plugin, which searches the WordPress plugin repository, or I can upload a plugin. And to do that, I would have had to go to the repository and download the zip file, and then I just upload it here. WordPress unpacks it, and it becomes available as a plugin for me to activate. You can find plugins in other places besides the WordPress repository. Some developers don't submit theirs to the repository. We recommend that you stick to the repository because those tend to be more carefully vetted, less likely to perhaps introduce a security risk or have other kind of nefarious code in the plugin. But searching is just as simple as when we were searching for themes. I just put in a keyword. So let's say I was looking for a plugin that integrated with Facebook. We're not asking you to do that, but if you wanted to, you could. And sure enough, I come up with over 1,000 items, plugins that have been written to integrate with Facebook. If I wanted to install this one, I would just click this Install Now button. And that's the end of this introductory video. The next video that I'm going to be doing is going to walk you through activating and setting up Kizmet.